Alright, I know I'm a little late to the party, but as you may have heard, Disney plans to reboot Home Alone. I did a video about this back in 2014, and I told you guys then that after Home Alone 3, they should have left the shit alone. But then they ended up making 4 and 5. And now they're rebooting it. You know, I don't know what to say. Everybody's basically like, why? Why are you rebooting Home Alone? For what? They claim they're doing it for a new generation of viewers. And they're making jokes about it and shit. They're like, well, what if Kevin had an iPhone Max or whatever you call the phone? I look at it like this. I would have stopped at Home Alone 3. Point blank. And I like Alex D. Lenz, the kid from 3. I like him. I like him a lot. I have nothing against him. But I would have used Macaulay Culkin. And you might say, well, Myers fan, how can you use Macaulay Culkin? He was too old in 1997. Easy. I wouldn't have made it in 1997. It would have been filmed in 1992. See, Home Alone 2 came out in 1992. It wasn't made in 1992, not that I know of. So what I would have done is, right after the release of Home Alone 2, I would have started filming Home Alone 3. That way, by the time he was done with part 2, part 3 would have been on the way. And that's the way I would have done it, instead of the reboot. This is what I would have done. In Home Alone 3, his dad has to go to a retreat, and they wind up having some sort of business meeting up there. And it happens to fall on Christmas of 93. Kevin would be like 13 at this time. So he's between the ages of 11 and 13 at this time, depending on what kind of timeline they're using. Because I don't know if they're actually going by the same year that the movie is released in. So, you know, he would have been somewhere between 10 and 13 years old by the time part 3 rolled around. His family is at this fancy retreat, and what happens is they make him stay at the cabin by himself. It's 1993, so he don't have Facebook or YouTube or anything like that. He just has to sit there with the little bit of toys that he did bring with him. And while he's there, Harry and Marv find out that he's up there. Of course, I would have got Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern to come back. They find out that he's up there, and it's the same shit. They basically try to get him again, but only he has more sophisticated traps this time. And that's basically what I would have done. And you may say, well, how can you be so sure it would have made money? Because it's Macaulay Culkin, that's why. That's why it would have made money. So that's my thoughts on the Home Alone reboot. They should have just made Home Alone 3. They could have filmed it in 1992 and dropped it in 1993. Released it in 1993. That's what I would have done. And then it would have been the final installment in the series. That way, you got a little nice Home Alone trilogy going on. Like I said, I have nothing against Alex at all. I like Alex. Alex was cool. But it would have been better if it was Macaulay Culkin. That's all. Alex was he's a cool dude. I like Alex. But it should have been Macaulay Culkin. It should have ended with Kevin McCallister up at a family retreat on Christmas morning. He's bored out of his mind. He has nothing to do. His family's up at some fancy schmancy meeting, And then that's when all crap hits the fan. And that's basically what I would have done. So my thoughts on the reboot, it shouldn't have been a reboot. Point blank. No reboot. It should have ended with Home Alone 3. That's that. With Macaulay Culkin. You guys let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'm the Michael Myers fanatic. I approve this message. Instead of a Home Alone reboot, we should have gotten Home Alone 3 in the early 90s. I'm talking right after Home Alone 2. Home Alone 3 should have went right into production with Macaulay Culkin. Alright guys, I'm out. Have a good one.